Hello Gemini, my name is Missy and I'm here to pull some AstroCharms for the month of October. Before I get into it, I am actually going to do this reading a little bit different, so I want to explain to you why my focus for the reading is a little different. Normally when I do the AstroCharms, I'm just kind of looking at the general energies, house by house, different areas of your life in terms of how the month might go, right? But for this particular reading, what I'm actually looking at is the astrological events that we have happening for October and how they're sort of the preface for Pluto moving into Aquarius in March of next year. And so I want to look at what is changing, what's ending, or what is it that you need to put an end to in order to embrace the changes that Pluto is trying to bring in when he changes signs into Aquarius. So this month we have, tomorrow actually, October the 2nd, Mercury will station direct. And for Gemini specifically, that is going to be, excuse me, that will be in your 4th house. So Mercury will station direct in your 4th house. You're going to have Pluto station direct in your 8th house, and then Saturn is going to station direct in your 9th house. Interesting. So, you know, really what's going to happen is Mercury stations direct first, so it is that you could hear something, learn some information, or maybe you need to speak to someone or have a conversation with someone regarding home and family issues. So this is like 4th house, meaning it could be your actual house, right? You could be selling your house, or maybe you want to sell your house. Maybe you're selling your house and even moving to another city or another state. The only reason that I say that is because it's 4th, 8th, and 9th houses that are attached. Pluto is going through the 8th house, which means, you know, it's a change in finances. You've already been experiencing a change in finances, you know, during Pluto's, not just finances, but a lot of deaths and endings and such with Pluto's transit of the 8th house for you. Probably a lot of changes that can come, you know, in the form of like joint resources, you know, endings in relationships or big changes surrounding relationships. And then with Saturn in the 9th, Saturn stationing direct in the 9th house, this has to do with all of the wisdom that you've gained and being able to sort of integrate that wisdom. Like there's been a lot of shadow work that's attached to this energy for Gemini because of Pluto's transit of the 8th house. It's been pretty heavy for you. Okay, so I wanted to pull some cards. There was something, I feel like there's something else I need to say about this. The planet stationing direct is just something that I'm feeling. I'm also listening to the song. We have Ed Sheeran, Two-Step, in the background. But yeah, so basically with this energy of first Mercury stations direct in your 4th house. So you could be either giving someone information surrounding home and family and security issues, right? Especially if the 8th house is attached. You know, there's either been a lot of changes and endings around family and home, or you've had to, like you're having to sell your home, or you want to sell your home, or you might be moving, something about that. Something that's really going to change how you see, like, when it comes to, because here's the thing, Pluto is leaving your 8th house and moving into your 9th house. Like how you see the world at large. You know, if you don't have an open mind right now, I think your mind is really getting ready to be opened. Like you're really getting ready to see like what the world is about with Pluto entering Aquarius being your 9th house. And that's actually going to cause you, this could be something where maybe you you go back to school, or you are starting to travel for work or something, and there's a lot of work there's going to be a lot of like work and responsibility attached to that with Saturn's move, or Saturn moving direct into the 10th house. So interesting. You've got two birds here, the flamingo and the hummingbird. You are an air sign, so I'm not surprised to see two birds coming out here, but you have romance, love, unique and distinctive. And we do have the 8th house coming through. It's very likely that you could, like, if there are endings for you coming around home and family, like you, and let's say you move to another city, I think this is saying the big changes that are going to be starting for you now in October are going to be centered around a different, like you're going to fall in love with someone who's different from you, is what this is saying. Especially with the 9th house. Remember I said that Pluto is moving from your 8th to your 9th house. The 9th house of foreigners, long distance travel, like travel overseas, right? So if this is, I have a feeling this is saying that like whatever is ending for you now is so good because you're gonna find love with someone who is very much different from what you're used to. Look at, now you've got mystery and magic on the bottom of the deck. I think this person's going to be a really different, a lot, like maybe either the complete opposite of you, or someone who is just, like it says, very unique and distinctive. And see, look at this burden, heavy load. There's going to be a lot of work attached to this, whatever this relationship is. If they are different from you in some way, there will be, you'll have to be very understanding at times, I think. Also with the hummingbird, this is very quick moving energy, like you'll have to be quick on your feet. Interesting. And then this is, when I bought this deck, I didn't think I was going to have to explain this so many times today, but I've only done 3 readings today and I've had to explain this 3 times. So when I bought this deck, I knew that this deck was going to be different. Not because of the packaging or anything, there was just something about it. Like literally you can see the cards are kind of like very black and white, basically, very simple, right? It's, the packaging is the same way, it's just black, it has a little bit of writing on the outside, that's it. It doesn't really say a whole lot. But I knew when I picked it up before I bought it, I knew that it was going to have like mediumship messages, and then when I opened it and I looked at the cards, I knew that specific, like immediately I just knew specific cards I was going to use in certain ways when mediumship messages came through, and this is one of those cards. This is a card that is coming through as a mediumship message, but more of, it's not mediumship in terms of a passed on loved one. This is mediumship in terms of the goddess. This is goddess energy. Now I do want to explain, only because you know, I don't really like to be so out there about my religious beliefs, but here we go. I believe that, I'm a pagan, first of all. I believe that, you know, there's a god and goddess, or that there's a equal balance of both god and goddess energy. I have pagan beliefs. So when I say goddess, I do want to say there is no card in this deck to represent god energy. I felt very strongly when I purchased this deck that this deck was meant to have divine feminine, scorpionic, mediumship messages. This is the pure essence of what this deck is supposed to be about. And so when I say goddess energy, I'm talking about the divine mother, the mother of us all, Mother Earth. You know, also some people, if you're Christian, you would call this like the Blessed Mother, right? Mother Mary, if you're Catholic. But this is definite divine feminine, goddess, scorpionic energy, the womb, the darkness. And so this is goddess energy coming through for you, that's saying, first of all, there's forgiveness here for you. Interesting. I don't know why like you would feel that you need forgiveness, but there's forgiveness here for you, and it's time to put down some heavy burden. We already know you have the heavy burden because of Pluto's transit through the 8th house, but it's time to put that down. And you know, now fortune is coming in for you. If you are a man watching this and you're a father, the seahorse I always see as father energy, because that is the dynamic of, the seahorse cycle, right? It is the father that nurtures and cares for the babies. And so, either you are a father or were a father. I don't know why I'm saying were a father unless your kids are grown. Interesting. I feel like this energy here, though, is like spirit, the goddess, coming through to say, it's divine timing. This is your time. It's time to put down this load, especially if it was a load around, or like a heavy load surrounding fatherhood or children in some way, or maybe your own father if you're not a man watching this. Like if you're a woman or feminine energy, you identify as a woman and you're watching this, there's like the energy of a burden surrounding fatherhood or your own father, that it's time to put that burden down and embrace this change here. Interesting, we have the song To Be Loved, Lizzo. It says, to be loved, am I ready, Lizzo? So maybe that's the question you're asking, are you ready to be loved? Because I think Spirit, the Great Mother, the Blessed Mother, the Divine Mother, she says it's time. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave this flamingo card here, I think. And we'll pull some charms to see what's going on for you. Okay, interesting. All right, so I think you have, because of what's based here in the center, I think you have love in your life that you're not acknowledging. I think you're gonna realize that you do have this love here. It's interesting because we have the teeniest, tiniest little piece of copper that came out. I didn't even know I had that piece of copper in my charm bucket, but you can see it right there, right? Yeah, it's a teeny tiny little piece of copper, and so that's very healing. And it's interesting to me that it came out like this on top of this charm that says I love you, right? They were both upside down. So I think there's somebody around you that loves you that you don't see. Like maybe you have a secret admirer or something. Maybe you don't see that they love you, but once they tell you that they love you, like once you get the clarity of it, it's like it totally transmutes and changes things for you, because you've got this smoky quartz here, and it's like it becomes healing. That's what copper does, it heals. It's like the knowledge or the clarity of this love, or the finding out, getting this information. That could be what Mercury stationing direct is going to bring to you, or how it's going to affect you, is that this information that somebody loves you, it's like, oh, so healing, right? You could be dealing with a Capricorn. Or an Aries. And this could be someone who's a friend. And the reason that I say that is because you've got the number 2 die with the Capricorn charm, and then you've got the charm that says seen and noted, right? So number 2, this is, and it's 1 and 1, not just the number 2 in a blank, it's 1 and 1. Come on, focus. The number is 1, 1. And then it says seen and noted, right? And then 5, 2, 6 are the numbers here on the seen and noted charm. So the number 2 has to do with partnerships, 2 people coming together. 5 526 is changes in partnerships or love. The number 2 has to do with partnerships and support. And the number 6 has to do with love or money, earthly desires or earthly things. It can also be like lust and greed. All right, so let me see if I can work my way around. I'm going to start with the 11th house because I think that's where the focus is. I think there's somebody that's a friend that you have now. They're a friend of yours, possibly a Capricorn or Aries. I think they might have feelings for you. They might express themselves to you. And I think it'll be very healing for you. So then we're going to come to the 12th house. So then in the 12th house, it could be that there's, again, maybe this person has the letter E in their name in some way, because the 12th house is like what's hidden from you or what you try to hide from others. It's also has to do with like hospitalization, mental health, dreams, fantasies, and fears. But you've got the number 4 domino here, which has to do with security. So there's something that you're not seeing about a person, place, or thing with the letter E that has to do with security. Something in your blind spot that you're either afraid of it, you're dreaming about it, or it's something that you need to pay attention to, or you're trying to hide from people or from others. I think you yourself are changing, like the butterfly and the leaf here, that literally, I always see the leaf, I hear that phrase, turning over a new leaf, or changing. Butterflies always represent change. So I think maybe your appearance, maybe you've changed something about your appearance recently, and it could be a big change because you've got both of the charms here that are talking about change. Then we have really nothing happening financially, but then in the 3rd house, the house of communication, we've got the letter O and the circus tent. So I think once you get this information, once this person tells you how they feel, right, it could cause, like, you could feel kind of like crazy and chaotic, because when the circus tent comes out upright like this, that means you're entering the circus. If it had come out upside down, and actually, you know what, I think yours might have come, you know what, I have to look back at the video, I'm not sure, I'll try to put a little note in here after I watch it, but you'll remember probably, or you can rewind to look and see, but I think it did come out upside down. If it came out upside down and I turned it over to look at it, that means that you're leaving the circus. But if it was upright like that and I did not touch it, then that means this information, when someone tells you how they feel, it's going to make you feel kind of scared and stressed and anxious, probably about this O. Leaving the circus would be the healing. Okay, so we're going to come all the way over here to the 7th and 8th houses. 7th house has to do with partnerships, promises, like them. The 1st house is you, the 7th house is them. So everything that you do, how you're expressing yourself in this house, this is your audience over here, right? The people that you're expressing yourself to, or that you're interacting with, or that you're in partnership with, promised to, contracted to, whether that's marriage or work, because this can be business partnerships. But this particular piece of clear quartz, it's in the shape of a square. So I always feel like this has to do with foundation and security. So, and this particular crystal here is a piece of carnelian. You can see how bright orange it is. So there's a lot of like creative energy, or a lot of creative, fiery, passionate energy coming through these 2 houses, right? This is the house of marriage, this is the house of sex, so that really makes sense. These letters could spell out someone's initials or someone's name, and maybe, or maybe this person has the letter B in their name in some way, and they're like really passionate about you. They really want to provide security. They want to, maybe they even want marriage in some way because of this. Like this quartz I see as a master healer, or it is a master healer, but because this one here it's a square. Squares are foundation, security. It's like something solid, right? Someone is passionate about this, all of this, marriage, sex, all of this stuff here. Someone or something with the letter B attached to it. Okay, so I'm going to end it with the song Woman by Doja Cat. And yeah, I hope this resonates. If it does not, please like, share, or please stick around. There might be another reading for you here on the channel that does. Also, please like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, hit the notification bell, anything that you can to help me get my channel out there, because I'm new here and I am very grateful that you have watched. Thank you.